everybody, you're welcome back to Decent Details with me, Essie now, Sister G's. Today we're going to be talking about enviness, and it's one of the things I've been wanting to talk about. I mean, there are many things I've been wanting to talk about, and enviness happens to be one of them. So stay with me, I'll be back with you shortly. Enviness is defined as seeing what someone else has or possesses and thinking, no, you deserve it better, or they don't deserve it, it should belong to you. But the actual definition, as seen in the dictionary or online, is a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or lack. It is when you feel people don't deserve the things they have and that it should be you. And this feeling is actually inherent, it's natural, it's one of the things that God created when He made us. But what we do with it is what makes it either good or evil. So in my research, I realized that there are two kinds of enviness, and the first type is the benign one. The benign kind of enviness is the one that makes you look at what someone else is doing, it fits someone else is achieving, and makes you want to actually do better. I'll give you an example. Somewhere last week, we saw in the news that Hilda Bassi was making rounds everywhere, standing on her feet to cook for 100 hours just to make the Guinness World Records. And it's an amazing kind of feeling to want to be like that or to be motivated by such a thing, because it's noteworthy. You don't see people standing so many hours to cook every day. Even to cook as an individual can sometimes be work. But what she did is so admirable that it makes us see that whatever we put our minds to, we can achieve it. So it can make you feel like, okay, I can also do this. I can also take a course. I can also pursue a certain degree, and I can do it because someone has done it. That kind of feeling or that kind of enviness, good enviness, is the one that we call benign kind of enviness, or the benign enviness. The next one, which is the most dangerous, is the malicious kind of enviness. It's the kind that would make you want to kill someone just to have what they have. It is the kind that would make you spread rumors, gossip, say things that are not true, just to make sure that you get what they want. But what we fail to see is that that kind of feeling will not take away what the person has. And even if the person loses what they have, it doesn't come to you. So these are the two kinds of enviness that we should take note of. The malicious one comes with evil consequences. It makes us go overboard. It makes you forget about the fact that you're a Christian or the fact that you have things going for you. It makes you plot, scheme, connive, lie, just to make sure that you get what someone else has. And like I said, it will never be yours. So I always say that enviness makes you lose sight of what you have by making you concentrate on what another person possesses. And by the time you would realize what you actually had, it would be too late. And so you would wonder what causes people to be envious. There are two things. One, comparison; two, low self-esteem. I really love the song by Jonathan McReynolds that talks about comparison. It says comparison kills. When you get time, listen to it. He makes so many amazing points that enviness makes you choose what you didn't even like in the first place just because someone has it and you want to appear in a certain way. Comparison makes you put your life aside, someone else's, and then you begin to draw parallels, and then you think, okay, if I compare this person's life with mine, I don't think I am doing enough, especially when these are the people you grew up with, people you were in class with, people you attended church with, or people you estimated you started with. So you begin to compare, and then you think, okay, this person has achieved this feat. I don't think I'll ever get there, or I don't think I'm there, so I want it. I want their life. Comparison makes you have that kind of feeling. The next one is low self-esteem. When you don't see your worth and you don't see the qualities that are embedded in you, you would always compare your life with others, and you would always feel like you're not good enough or you're not going to amount to anything. God specifically made you, and when He made you, He gave you certain qualities. There's a reason you can sing and someone can't. There's a reason you are good at artwork and someone isn't. And so you wouldn't have to look at someone else's qualities and begin to feel you are not enough. Have a good sense of yourself. Sit down, analyze, and look at the things you are good at and work on those things, and it will make you stand out. How do you deal with enviness? The first point that I believe is acknowledge it. Sometimes we feel because we are Christians. I use Christianity a lot because I'm one, and I would want to use that as an example. I would want to give biblical principles. The truth is that when you acknowledge that you have this feeling, when you acknowledge that, okay, I'm envious of this person, it makes you address it. If you feel you don't have that feeling or you begin to deny its existence, funny thing is, it festers, it grows, and it becomes something that would gain so much roots in your heart that you begin to become resentful and bitter. And that is very evil. So you have to make sure that you're acknowledging it. Okay, this thing that this person has, immediately you acknowledge it. You know that no, this is not a good feeling. You work on it to become better. So you should acknowledge it. The next one, which people might think, oh, you are being too creepy or you are being too spiritual. See, fast and pray about it and ask God to help you. It works. Ask God to help you recognize your own worth and the qualities you possess, and then pray about it. Pray to God and let Him know that, God, this is how I feel. I feel a certain way towards A, B, C, D because I feel they are doing better in this way and I'm not. Help me. And it works all the time. Trust me, it would put you in a place where you begin to appreciate the things you have and not envy what another person has. Okay. The next one is check your self-esteem. Why are you feeling the way you are feeling? If you begin to think, okay, you're not good enough in a certain way, work on it. Get better at areas that you think you are lacking. Attend a class. Take a course online. Do something with your life. Don't just sit there and expect that, oh, life will happen to you. Because I growing up, I knew I would be a great person. It will just happen. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. It takes a while and you have to work to make sure that it happens for you. So look at yourself, check your self-esteem, and talk to somebody. Like my next point, seek therapy. Talk to somebody that you trust. It could be your pastor, it could be your teacher, it could be a colleague or a friend that you really, really have faith in. And talk to this person and share that this is how I feel. And if they are genuine and honest, they might point out certain areas in your life that they feel you should work on, which will make you also a better person, So that's the next one. And my next point is, what do you want out of life? What do you want out? If you know what you want out of life, I believe it will shape you into walking a certain path. So growing up, I always wanted to be a diplomat, and I'm going to work at it to get to that level. Why should I see someone who wants to be an athlete making it all around the world and then be upset that I'm not this person? Or why should I see someone who is a journalist or someone who is a musician and then feel like, oh, this person has achieved this feat and I wish I had what they had? This kind of feeling has made people veer off the purpose God created them for. God specifically gave you certain qualities to make sure that you exhibit them and change the world, make the world a better place. But if you lose sight of what you have and all these things that God made you, and you start concentrating on what another person has, and you want to be like them, it derails you. By the time you would realize, you would start doing things you were not even supposed to do just to make sure that you are this person. And truth is, you will not be happy. You will not be fulfilled. You'll be running around in circles and you'll be wondering what you're doing with your life just because you're trying to be someone. It's the reason people even try to live lives that they can't afford, So because you've seen someone living a certain life, they drive a certain car, they have a certain job, they have a certain circle of friends, you also want that. You begin to borrow, you begin to lie, you begin to do unscrupulous things just because you want to fit or project a certain narrative of yourself. That is not true. So work at it, work on your self-esteem, and make sure that, Charlie, you chart your own path and you walk on that path. Amen. The next point I want to make is, are you willing to put in the work? How willing are you to put in the work? Nobody just got up one day and said they are be a president. Nobody just became a president. I mean, nobody just woke up and became like a top star or the best student in academia or whatever it is. People work for the things they actually have. So if you want that kind of life, if you want that kind of achievement or feat, be willing to put in the work. Don't be sleeping, don't be slacking, don't be hiding and then put all your talents under a pillow just because you feel okay, what just happened. No, put them to use. Work at it. There are people who are spending sleepless nights, getting degrees, pursuing a certain course, learning new skills. If you see that these people are making it out there and their pictures are being posted on social media and are being celebrated, don't be there and then be envious. It should ginger you to also put in that work. Don't be lazy and expect that, oh, it will happen. No, it's not going to happen. So you have to put in the work. Because also, there are some people who also use unscrupulous means to get the things they want. If you're willing to put in that work, fine. But don't just think, oh, because it's happening like that, it has to happen to me. And don't always focus on the surface. You understand? Sometimes people begin to appear like, oh, everything is put together. Sometimes they're actually put together, but sometimes they are not. You don't know the things people are doing to get what they have. So envying them is just is such a waste of emotion and waste of time. So I hope this today's session has actually helped. I hope you have learned something from it. You can also share an experience where you felt this kind of feeling and how you were able to overcome it. I'm sure someone might read in the comment section and then work on themselves in that area. So yes, that's for today's episode, and see you some other time. Thank you for watching These and Details with me, Esina Susudis. Enjoy your day. Bye.